much, Tom Ross, and we're back live at the Long Beach Historical Society. Before we get into the music, Gene, I love food, and for some people who want great food, Saturday and Sunday at the Arts and Crafts, let's go down that again with some of the great food you can get at Arts and Crafts.
Well, before I talk mostly about the new things, but we have our regulars. We have our turkey man.
Oh,
we have falafel. We also have souvlaki, gyros, the classic chicken on a stick. We have all kinds of hamburgers and hot dogs, smoothies, lemonade, the root beer people from the Lutheran Church. And I think there's something for everybody, mozzarella, whatever that is.
Awesome. All right. It's going to be great. All right. Now you're going to be treated to an amazing performer. And to introduce her is the one and only Benoit.
Hey, what's up everybody out there? I'm here with the gorgeous and talented Jackie Elise. She's promoting her iTunes single, Bedroom Star. Before she gives us a taste of her talent, I just want to run down some of the music events going around town. Sutton Place has music on Wednesday with Mark Klein and myself filling in for Ralph Palladino. Thursday, Cabana. We've got a gig there too, Benoit and the Long Beach All-Stars, as well as Friday at Patty McGee's. These are all like in the early evening, so check that out. Panini and Bikini is now having live music, and Bobby Blues is there from 6 to 10. If you guys like jazz and blues, you'll love him. Come on, check out the new menu, the new dining room. It's air conditioned, it's beautiful. Arts in the Plaza in front of City Hall on Saturday. I'm hosting the event this week. I'm inviting all you acoustic performers to come down, plug in, do a song, and be a part of the Arts in the Plaza this Saturday. I will be performing with Mike Carmen on the harmonica and trumpet, and Susan Bach is coming by as well. She's an awesome singer-songwriter. She played there recently. And one of my students, Myra Cohen, may be also coming back to play a couple of her songs. We're there noon to 4, along with the farmers market, along with all the artists, and it's going to be great. We've been having, also we're excited about Labor Day. We're having a special late night edition where they're going to show an independent surfing movie. Johanna put this all together with my help as well. We're having it's like a Labor Day special with Josh Sticks. He's a local reggae guy, and also Bolo Bolo Blawe. They're an African drumming group. They played at that Chamber of Commerce Winter Blast, and everybody loves them. Sunday we got JW Trainers, the two-man jam. I'd like to thank Riley and Victor Peretz. They're always coming down with their horns to sit in with us. Members of the Long Beach All-Stars. Plus, they're starting afternoon music at Panini and Bikini. We've got Jeff Allen, Brendan Moynihan, Alex Flynn doing Saturday and Sunday from noon to 5. There's so much music going around right now, Howie. I can't even tell you. Shout out to Groundswell. They're also at Bahia Social Club Sunday night. It's a great venue, really delicious tapas. And Milestone, shout out to them. They're playing Sutton Place Saturday and the Inn Sunday. And just over the bridge in Rockaway Beach, my good friend Still Remains, we're at High Rock Friday at 10. So that's the music calendar now. We have Miss Jackie here, who's already been on the show before, and she's fabulous. And tell us a little bit about your connection to Long Beach and what you've got going on right now.
Thank you, Benoit. I have a few connections to Long Beach. Actually, the first time I ever got paid money to sing in a bar was at Minnesota's. So I've spent a lot of time doing gigs. I got myself through college doing 4 hours worth of cover music and going from one bar to the next bar to really hustle. And so now we're doing some really big things, and it's only right that I come back to Long Beach to let everyone know. So that's what I have going on. I have my first single on iTunes. It's Jackie Elise, which is A-L-I-S-E. And it's called Bedroom Star. It's a very poppy, sexy single. It reminds me a lot of Madonna, like Virgin, and those types of things. I also have 14 more songs on the album, which is going to be coming soon. We have a video coming out for Bedroom Star, and so I'm really, really very excited about it all. And Benoit is always so good.
So you're doing mostly recording and releasing right now. Any performances coming up or any appearances?
I actually just won a big contest for Long Island. It was called Spark the Mic Contest. It's a contest that involves all 5 boroughs as well as the island. And for every borough and Long Island there is a winner. And then those winners all compete against each other. So I got through the Long Island round. And now we have that coming up, which is exciting.
All right.
Anything I can get my hands on. I just sang at Madison Square Garden for Shawnee Monahan's fight, who is also a Long Beach resident, who also my father trains. So I have a lot of connections. There's a lot of 6 degrees of separation stuff going on here.
That's awesome. Can you give us a little taste of your voice?
Sure. Does anybody have like a favorite old classic song or anything, or some? Here, you want to hold this for me?
Sure.
Okay.
Just the way you are.
Oh, just the way you are. Oh gosh, I don't know all the words to that. Don't go changing to try to please me. You never let me down. That one's too low. Alright, I'll do some Nat King Cole. Smile, though your heart is breaking. Smile, even though it's breaking. Although a tear may be ever so near, that's the time you must keep on trying. Smile, what's the use of crying? You'll find that life will still get by if you just smile.
All right. Thank you, Miss Jackie.
What an amazing talent. She's going places. Jackie's going to be great. What a beautiful voice. And now, without further ado, our resident movie critic, let's give it up for Rocco Pasafume. And Rocco is very excited. He's been waiting for this movie to come out and tell us all about Expendables.
Yes, I did The Expendables 2 this week. It's directed by Simon West. It stars Sylvester Stallone, Jason Statham, and Jean-Claude Van Damme. The Expendables, a ragtag group of mercenaries led by Barney Ross, which is played by Stallone, are back in action. They go on a revenge mission after an army of thugs known as the Songs, led by John Vallon, played by Van Damme, kills one of their own. If I can sum up The Expendables 2 simplistically enough, it would be more polished, more humorous, and especially more Arnold, who returns for his first official film role since he left the California governorship. Not to be outdone, but a new and equally funny and brilliant cameo this time around comes from karate legend, action star, and unlikely modern-day philosopher Chuck Norris. While the film continues to be everything you would expect from a Sylvester Stallone action film in its 1980s heyday, which is graphically violent, simplistic plot, and occasionally a little nutty, The Expendables 2 is a more confident sequel that not only gives you a lot of bang for your buck, but plenty of good old-fashioned cheesy action schlock for your rock. And most importantly, it's extremely funny. It's definitely the action film of the summer. I definitely recommend it to any guy, especially over the age of 30, or anybody who just grew up loving Sylvester Stallone and Arnold Schwarzenegger's movies, because the best action movies from them are always like the funniest, and this definitely delivers that in spades. So I give The Expendables 2 3 out of 5 stars. Also, as Howie mentioned before, there's a movie night in Long Beach this Sunday at 7:45. It's on August 26th. It's going to be at the Virginia Avenue block of Long Beach. They will be showing The Lorax, which is an adaptation of the Dr. Seuss classic book. So definitely come out for that. Some other announcements that we have is the Long Beach Tea Party Patriots will be presenting a free lecture on the Constitution, focusing on the freedom of religion, by Chris Anna Hall, who is an attorney and disabled veteran. She travels all across the United States teaching about the Constitution to concerned citizens. So come hear her at Long Beach Public Library on Thursday, August 30th. There's a meet and greet networking that starts at 6:30, and then the program starts at 7. For further information, email vd1013@aol.com. Also, there's the 4th annual Long Beach Wrestling Golf Outing at Lido Golf Course on Thursday, August 30th at 1 p.m. And if you can't come to the golfing event, you can come to the dinner or sponsor it. So here is everything, and back to Howie.
Great job, Rocco. That's going to be fun. And when I heard Jackie singing, what a gorgeous voice, I was looking at Liz, and Liz mentioned a couple of weeks ago that there was famous musicians that lived in Lido.
Oh, yes.
Let's talk about that a little bit.
What was his name?
Frank what?
The Heidi Ho guy.
We had Edie Goulet.
Let's talk about that, about some of the great musicians that lived in Long Beach.
Well, I know Edie Goulet and her husband, they rented a house. I was in the renting agent at the time. And then they built a home. They came into my house, they wanted it rented. But I didn't. I sent them over to Woodhill Street and where there was a piano. And they lived there. And we had a famous Frank, he was in concert, a violinist who lived on Royat Street. I can't remember his last name. But we had Cole Porter lived in the area, and we had Arnie Rosen, who wasn't a musician, but he wrote Philco. He was one of the writers for Philco. He lived right next to me, and we have a beautiful neighborhood. So we love it.
All right, great.
What
And
else can I say?
that's pretty impressive that some famous people and speaking of famous people that grew up in Long Beach. I always like to talk about Long Beach's rich history. You go back to Larry Brown, the great basketball coach, grew up in Long Beach. He won a championship in college at Kansas and with the pros, the Detroit Pistons. You have Billy Crystal, who's hosted the Oscars 8 times.
Went to school with my son.
Went to school here in Long Beach. Mike Francesa, who's one of the great broadcasters on FAN, grew up here in Long Beach. Al Davis lived in Long Beach, former owner of the Oakland Raiders. Joan Jett, great musician, grew up here in Long Beach. So there's so many famous people. And of course the movie actor Eddie Lauder, who's been in 75 films, grew up here, went to the West School in Long Beach. So Long Beach is such a rich history of so many famous people that grew up and lived in Long Beach. And of course, let's not forget the New York Rangers trained here in Long Beach in the 70s. And there's one Ranger from that still lives in Long Beach, Pete Stemkowski. Never left.
I have his picture.
There you go.
In a bowling center.
There you go.
With his children.
All right, but school is starting, and it's a lot of anxiety. Kids had the whole summer off. They've been on the boardwalk. They've been swimming. They've been having a good time. But school is a few weeks away, and Steve, that leads to a lot of anxiety, doesn't it? Let's give it up for Steve Vaccaro.
Thank you, Howie. Yeah, school's right around the corner. Even now, I get that knot in my stomach, thinking Labor Day's coming, the end of the summer's here, and what are we going to do? We'll go back to school, and hearing all the kids go to school shopping and things. There's a musician out there, Rod Stewart. He's not from Long Beach, but in 1971 he came out with the song Maggie May, and everybody knows the first 2 verses. It says, "Wake up, Maggie, I think I've got something to say to you. It's late September, I really should be back at school." Every time I hear that song, I think about that anxiety I get before I get to school, even though I'm not in school anymore. And there is anxiety about that. And I think for youngsters, it's very, very important for parents to be there for your children, to first ask how your child is feeling about going back to school, kind of prepare them before they get back to school. Let them know you can empathize and then they offer reinsurance, because now, instead of being home for that time, they're going to be in school for 6 or 7 hours, so that's very important. Help your children view change as an opportunity. This is an opportunity where they can get to meet new people, make new friends, meet teachers. Some of your lifelong memories are going to be from teachers from 1st and 2nd and 3rd grades. I can still remember my 2nd grade art teacher. Can't do any art, but help your children view change as an opportunity. Program positive thinking. So when they're getting concerned or negative thoughts creeping in their mind, think about the positive things that are about change. Create a ritual of planning. Structure the day. Have a calendar on the wall in a refrigerator. 20 more days left to school starts. 19, 18. This way when that day comes, there won't be separation anxiety at that time. Talk about your own experience about transitions. Talk about when you went to school. Talk about how things were difficult or things that you enjoyed. Coach them and to reach out to others. These are very important. I've worked with a kid, and the other day he told me that he's going to be a freshman in high school. He told me he's so nervous about starting freshman high school because there's so much pressure of doing good in school. Because for college, those grades, starting your ninth grade, is very important for colleges to see. So there's a lot of pressure for high school kids, not just how they look or how they're going to fit in, but to achieve those grades, get the scholarships potentially, because schools are so much money. And I have a little poem I was going to read, but I'm going to let my main man Rocco over here read it, because he does our poetry here. It's just a little ditty about going back to school. Thanks, Rocco.
It would be my pleasure. Summer's over. It was fun. Now it's time to get things done. Catch the bus and be on time, standing straight in all those lines. Getting homework every day, do it quick and then go out and play. Early nights and days so full, following those school time rules. Do your best and you will see, life will go by so quickly. For one day when you are grown, your lessons written all in stone, you will know that in the end, these are the best days you will spend, sharing knowledge, doing well. Your future has a lot to tell. By the way, this was written by Francine Puccillo.
Thank you, Rocky. Back to you, Howard.
Excellent. Great job, Rocco. Great job, Steve. You know, I do a show like this, and sometimes you hear something interesting and an idea pops into your head. I was listening to Florence Hausman before talk about the emptiness of the boardwalk, and we need to do something for the boardwalk. So idea popped in my head. We are going to be broadcasting on 9/11 this year from the Avenue Cafe, and we're going to have some students we've invited from the elementary, middle school, and high schools to read essays about why 9/11 is important to them. But I'd like to invite the Lido group to join us, and I want to start a movement all from Florence, and I want to call it Bring It Back to the Boardwalk. What do you think, Florence? About
Wonderful.
because, you know, I think from the
Bring the boardwalk back.
Bring the Boardwalk Back. How's that?
Even better.
Bring the boardwalk back, because you know what? Through the show, from the platform of broadcasting every week and having a column in the Herald, and now there's a new venue that we're excited to. They've reached out to us. There's going to be an online Long Beach television station, and we're going to be getting involved with them. So between the radio show, the TV show, and the Herald, you know, we can make a difference in Florence. We really love the idea of bringing it back to the boardwalk, because like you said, it's empty, and I think your idea has a lot of merit, and the only way to advance this is to keep talking about it. So what do you think, Liz, to invite the Lido group and bring this idea and get it moving starting on 9/11 at the Avenue Cafe? What do you think?
Once again, we look forward to joining you, Howie.
All right.
It's always been a pleasure.
Bring it back on the boardwalk. What do you think?
Let's go.
All right. And we'll start it, and we'll get people involved, and we'll start it here from Florence, and we'll keep it moving. All right, we're going to take a break, and after the break, we're going to hear from our very own Double M, Mayor Minch, and some more people that love history here in Long Beach. Coming to you live from the Long Beach Historical Society. I'm Halftime Howie. This is Broadcasting on the Beach with Halftime Howie from Long Island's first and oldest radio station, 1240 AM, WGBB.